Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome. And if you have been wondering where the hell I've been for the past year, then I'd like to apologise. I basically have been stuck in a bit of an art rut for the past year, which is a bit of a problem because I have an art channel, which has kind of led to me not posting as much as I would like to. But the good news, and something that I'd like to talk to you about today, is that I've started to find my way back to sketching. And it's all thanks to bullet journaling and getting back into my notebooks, which is very different to being in my watercolour sketchbooks. And I'll explain what I mean by that in this video. For me, journaling is the perfect combination of words and sketching. It's way more relaxed to me than sketching in a sketchbook. I never feel any pressure when I'm sketching in my journal compared to when I'm sketching on my thick watercolour paper and my really expensive sketchbooks, which generally have a lot less pages than notebooks and bullet journals. This notebook that I'm using is the Lecterm 1917 notebook, which I have been using pretty much ever since I started bullet journaling back in 2019. And I never really thought that I could do a full watercolour on it, but I've recently been experimenting way more and I've started to realise that it can actually hold quite a lot. Yeah, it's been really fun to experiment, but at the same time keep things a little bit casual and not take things too seriously. The other thing that I like about sketching in my bullet journal is that the journal itself almost acts as a prompt of what to sketch. So sometimes when you could just literally sketch anything, it's really hard to know what to sketch. But I find that if I'm already in my journal writing about my day, writing about what I'm listening to, what I'm doing, what I've been watching, then that just automatically gives me a lot of inspiration of things to sketch. So quite often I'm sketching something that I'm drinking or eating, or if I go for a walk, then when I'm writing about that walk in my journal, I'll just add a little sketch of it. Or like this painting that I'm doing here, which is the cover of Phoebe Bridgers' Punisher, which I've just been listening to a lot recently. And in case you're wondering what I'm even doing, I started off with a wash of watercolour. Then I went in with some ink with an old brush that I didn't mind getting a bit inky. And that was the Noodler's Bulletproof ink, which I also used in my fountain pen. And then I did Phoebe's skeleton costume in gouache because I felt like it would stand out quite nicely from the dark ink. And then I did the final wash with Daniel Smith's Moonglow watercolour, which is a really interesting paint which has a combination of blue, red and grey pigments in it. So I felt like it was basically the perfect paint for this painting because the image itself has grey, red and blue in it, and also it's called Moonglow, which is quite relevant. If you know Phoebe's album, there's even a song on there called Moon Song, so I felt like it brought everything together quite nicely. There's also one other thing which links writing in a journal and sketching in a journal, and that is fountain pens. If you've seen this channel before, you know I'm quite obsessed with my fountain pens. I have quite a few of them and lots of different coloured inks. And so basically doing an art journal is an excuse to use a lot of fountain pens, so I'm really enjoying that. And there's definitely something to be said for the mind-body connection of making notes and writing in paper rather than in digital note form. So I think using fountain pens again was what triggered me to want to get back into sketching, and I'm very, very grateful for that because for the last year I have been in a serious art block where I just didn't want to sketch, and I don't know whether that was because I was burnt out from it, if I was working too hard on the social media side of things, and it just wasn't fun not wanting to do something that I've previously enjoyed doing so much. So I'm really grateful for bullet journaling and just writing it in notebooks. It sounds so silly really, but I think that is genuinely what helped me get back into the sketching train. I do also love writing. It is something that I have always done my whole life. I would say that was probably the first creative thing I did even before art was writing, and I still do a lot of writing. So being able to rediscover a way to combine those two things has just been really satisfying for me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little rambling chat about journaling, and I'd love to hear what journals you're in, if you're using any, or if you're still just firmly in your sketchbooks. And I'll see you in the next video, which I promise won't take as long this time.